Hey there everyone, Mazarok here, and today I want to give you guys a quick Season 4 prep guide, things that you should be looking forward to do and kind of watching out for as we get closer to Season 4. There's only a week and a half left. It starts on August 2nd, so these are things that you're probably going to want to take a look at before Season 4 kind of really starts. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. It goes such a long way to helping out the channel. We are just skyrocketing with subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. There is a Patreon link down below if you wish to support me directly, as well as a community Discord link if you have any questions about what you hear here today. As well, you can always catch me on stream, link down below. Any weak auras or LVY profile that you see on screen that you may like are all available for free in that community Discord as well. Let's get into it. Number one is Valor. So Valor is being reset at the start of Season 4. Now, we are keeping the uncapped Valor, so that's fine. But any Valor you have, you're gonna want to spend it, right? Because the return rate on those, they typically give you some silver per Valor, is just atrocious. You're gonna get much more gold value out of that Valor if you go to the Ouroboros Flight Master right next to them. That you can get the Valor boxes there, 500 Valor per box. Get some free gear, sell it to the vendor. You're gonna get way more gold out of that Valor than if you just let the auto transaction kind of take place. Much more worth it, trust me. Now, speaking of those Valor boxes, the next thing that you can do, because we are losing 8 original Shadowlands dungeons, if there's any trinkets that you think you might want, farm them out now. Bloodscale, I think, is still going to be a pretty good trinket, and there's some other probably good DPS trinkets. IQD might still be good. And I mean, if you're not doing anything with your Valor anyway, try and farm those out. Go into the dungeon, get a high level, and spend your Valor on upgrading it, or try and get it through those boxes if you can. Right, at 236, it's probably not going to be a very good trinket, but if you can get it up to 272 pretty quickly and easily, might not be a bad idea, right? Kind of one of those thought processes. So that's one thing you're going to be wanting to watch out for. I wouldn't really worry about weapons, because weapons tend to be outscaled by eye level. Even the effects on them, if they're pretty good, the eye level tends to matter a lot more about, you know, damage and things like that, unless the weapon is like superbly broken. Like, I think some rogues are still running one Edge of Night Mythic in Raid, but not in Mythic Plus because it doesn't do enough damage. But that just goes to show you, if the weapon is powerful enough, it may still be good at a lower eye level. So something you want to think about doing. You have a week and a half to do it. However you want to get it done, get it done. The other thing that I think might get a little bit of jankiness to it as the season swaps over to the newer high level is the Creation Catalyst. If there's any transmog that you want from Sepulchre of the first ones, from Raid Finder to Mythic, Mythic being the most prominent one, we don't really know how the Creation Catalyst is going to work with the higher item level gear and whether or not you're still going to be able to get that mog. So if you have the spare flux right now and you have the gear to transfer to catalyst a piece over into the mog that you want, be it normal, heroic, mythic, or whatever, it might be the best time to do it now, right? If you have the flux, there's no harm, and it's one of those things that's kind of like fear of loss, because you might not be able to easily get it. I mean, Sepulchre, the first ones, is coming back. It's only going to be back every 3 weeks, so you might not get that piece of gear that you want, or that mog that you want. And if you have an easy way of getting it now through the Creation Catalyst, I do suggest kind of just going forward and doing that now, right? Why not? There's no harm. Get the piece while you can. Complete that set. Just do it up. It might save you a headache, and it might save you some farming, so I mean, why not? Speaking of the Creation Catalyst, no fears. The Creation Catalyst charges that you've built up over the entire season remain. They're going to, you know, roll on over into Season 4, so that's not a problem. You don't have to worry about spending any charges or anything. So if you want to take the risk and kind of, you know, I'll get that mog eventually or whatever, you're completely safe to do so. But if you're into the whole set collecting and you want to make sure that you have as many transmog pieces as possible, it might be easier just to get that done now, right? So something to stop and think about. If you are a tank player especially, but DPS and healers, you might want to take a look at this. But look into the new dungeon routing, right? The Karazhan and Mechagon dungeons, we've had as Mythic Plus dungeons before. Iron Docks is going to be new, and Grimrail Depot are both going to be new for, you know, what routing you have. I know Grimrail Depot is still pretty linear, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But if you don't want to be Frodo leaving Rivendell and not knowing whether you have to go left or right at the start of a dungeon, if that's the case, that comes up, right, you might just want to be Gandalf and kind of have some sort of idea on where you're going. So that way, you're not completely stuck. And this is especially more so as a tank. Look up, I mean, Dratnos probably still has routing videos online and things like that. There are resources that you can get. As time goes on, I'm going to be putting the routes up, but I want to do them with the new seasonal affix, so don't fear. So You Want to Tank videos are coming back for all the 6 new Mythic Plus dungeons coming in this season, but you're still going to want to have some sort of idea where to go. So you can look up old routes that people used to do back in BFA and Legion. There's a lot of good information out there that you can go through. YouTube is always a fantastic source for all of these things, but if your first key is a 15 Mechagon junkyard or whatever it is, or I can't remember what Mechagon dungeons are coming back, I'm sorry. If is an upper Karazhan, you want to know where you're going, at least have an idea. I know the Mechagon dungeons are coming back. I'm bad with names this morning sometimes. They just, don't want to work out. Another thing that you can do ahead of time is plan out what you want to spend on the raid vendors. You can go in on the PTR now, and I have 2 links below for tanks. I have one for strength and one for agi tanks. So that way, if you want to kind of have a framework of what you want to get from the raid vendors and plan it ahead, so that way you're getting the best possible pieces on, where you want to farm things out and things like that, and what you want to spend on the raid vendors, that's really not a bad idea at all. That's something that you probably should be doing for yourself, just to save yourself a little bit of a headache, right? Kind of pre-plan ahead of time. Mythic Plus next week is probably going to be fairly boring. It's the last week of the season, and it's Necrotic Spiteful, so I don't expect the Pug Finder Mythic Plus queues to be completely chock full of people. I still am personally going to be running Mythic Plus because that's what I like doing with my time and in-game. But yeah, so that's probably, you're going to have to find some different stuff to kind of look around and do and set that up. So those are just a couple of things that, you should be absolutely, I wanted to bring these to attention because, oh, I forgot to spend my Valor. Oh, man, I want that specific, I want the specific Mog. Or, man, I have no idea where I'm going in Mechagon. Like, what is going on here? And that might be the way you want to experience the game. Don't let me stop you from experiencing the game the way you want to do it. But at the same time, if you want to be a little bit more prepped, and this is, like I said, especially with dungeon routing, it's a little bit more important for tanks. Because whenever you try and put out a route, or, hey, where are we going? Which way do we want to go here? 9 times out of 10, the DPS and the healers are just like, you're the tank, we follow you, and it's like, dude, come on, help out. Like, maybe I'm asking for information here. Who knows? Whatever, that's a topic for a different time. But that is my Season 4 prep guide. If there's anything else that you have in mind that I didn't list here, leave that down in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. Now, of course, these are all PvE based because I'm a PvE player and I don't PvP, so PvP, keep killing people and prepare to kill more people, I guess. Like, there's your PvP guide. I have really no idea what goes on there. But yeah, so I hope you guys are excited for Season 4 as much as I am, and excited to run some new dungeons, and, get the new gear, and, get decked out in those BIS items that, you might not have gotten lucky. My DK never got a Jathus, never got a Gavel, never got an Old Warrior Soul, so I'm super excited to get at least 2 or 3 of those. I don't know if I'm going to go for Jathus yet, but I'm at least excited to get 2 out of 3 of those. But yeah, so enjoy your guys' day. Thank you very much, and have yourselves a good one.